Put that here. No, this one here. That one's very good.
You can take mine out. Is it okay?
Now I can talk. I'm eating chocolate now.
You need it. You deserve the best. Yeah.
Okay, let's begin then, right? So I managed to fix the problem we had before lunch. Just showing you how to do it. And I also want to share you how to fix it, right? I found an example in the tutorial here. I went to RESTful APIs and trying to see user details, right? Can you see it here? So here they mentioned how to read a file. So this is the way, right? So I just copy paste this one, copy paste, and then edited my get this method, right?
Okay.
This method, and then this method I just replace this information.
Just a second.
Copy paste and replace it, right? But there they were saying users, I'm saying students. I'm just giving you a walkthrough. Reading file, this path and this U2FA, something like a encoding thing. I didn't remove it, and then this is the callback function. Now we are not using the sync one, right? Here we define a variable. We can say it let, and then parse the JSON data, and data is coming from where? This callback, right? And then here we are declaring a constant, another one, and then a student. And how do you get the students? Because we need to filter from the students, right? And we are still using the method search by the similar one as it is. So here what we are doing, we are just passing one more addition to it. We are passing the students object that was coming from this dot students or something, right? Or so whatever. So now we get the students, and then we are just passing it, and then the key is name, and the value is what? The one we are receiving from parameter, right? So we are passing that. So this search function have three things: the students object itself, and this one, and that's the filtering code from Slack channel as it is, right? If I do save, if I do go,
So we can search by one of them. Yes, the name, the value, and the key.
no.
No.
So the name and the key is like we will be cross-checking with which key, because this object has a lot of key. The left side is the key, right side is the value.
Yeah.
So we'll be just checking, not everything, just the name. That's the key, right? And that's we defined it. We defined it here. The key.
Okay.
The key is name.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is confusing, the name and this name, right?
Okay.
So probably that's why you are a bit confused. And then this name is coming from this request object. Whatever we can call it different thing. Name, ID, username. You can call it like user name. No one will kill us. You can say username. It will work as well. Okay? Does it make sense? Then we got this. We get this student then, and then we just send it back, right? So now we check it. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So we just students. We can get should we get all of them, and then let's search now. We get she's living in here, Copenhagen. Let's find someone who is living in Odense, right? To do verify is working. Otherwise, it's static, right? So Kuan living is at Aarhus, right? Working. So this additional information has also significant that you can validate always if it's XYZ, you don't know what XYZ you're referring, right? Try to give some bit more realistic examples, then it will be easier for you to learn the theory as well. Okay. Now it's working, right? That's the two API we have. We need, yeah. Okay. So what missing now? This is the API, right? And I said that API, I did it, then anyone did it, and then anyone can consume this API. That's the ambition. That's the idea. Like the client can be me, or client can be anyone rest of the world, right? So how can I expose my API to others? How can I do that? Do you understand what I mean? Let's assume this is the Node application API, and my machine is the server, right? My intention is like I wrote the API, and then you will just use my API and get the information and then build your own website, right? That's the intention, right? The Facebook has made this their API, GitHub their API. Let's assume this is the Hack Your Future API. If you call this API, you get this student list with a lot of information, and then you build your own way with the graphics, right?
Yeah.
So to do it, we're using Postman and then this way. But if in your machine you're typing localhost 9000, then you will not get it because this is not your machine, it's my machine, right?
Yeah.
So how to talk to my machine?
Using your
IP address. Okay. Tell me, Monia, how to get my IP address? Yeah, if config. IP config, right? If config. So here, right? Somewhere. Where? So this one, see, this configuration has a lot of IP address, but you just Google it, the name tutorial how to find it. I will not go into details. This is my IP address, okay, and this is broadcasting to this. So just copy paste. So 192.168.1.56, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you type in the Postman or whatever you have, type this address and /students. Can you see if it's working? Also, you need HTTP. You need that. HTTP, yeah. 192.168.1.56. Type in your Postman.
It seems like it's inactivated. You have to.
Oh yes, definitely. I need to restart my application, right? It's now not started. Now it should be. Students.
HTTP? No, HTTP.
And then colon 9000, right? Our port number is 9000 after IP address.
HTTP.
Here? Okay, I got it.
But are you sure your IP is shareable?
It's can you say answer to this question?
Sorry?
Is it working now?
Yes.
Also, you need a colon port number. I mentioned that. So write this IP address. Where is it? Okay, it's now on top, right?
I send it in instant.
Yeah. So 192.168.1.56 colon 9000. My port number. Can you? Is it coming to all to your machine?
I send it in a Slack.
Give me the green
No,
signal.
is it possible if you get some API from the real websites?
You can buy them. Is it that difficult, guys? It's not coming to your machine? Oh my! He shared this line, right? Copy paste and
It's downloading.
downloading what?
What do you mean now?
Downloading students.
No, why did you go there? Go to the Postman.
Postman.
Postman, yes.
But it shouldn't be downloading anyway.
Yeah.
if you do it
Can
in
you do it in browser?
if you do it in the browser, it shouldn't download. So we still have the problem on the red file.
What do you mean? I cannot understand that.
The file shouldn't be downloaded
When you open in the browser.
when you request it on
Okay, if it's downloading, then because of this problem, we need to string it JSON
Oh, you're right.
way of doing it.
Yes, he's right. When you write it in the browser, it will ask you to download it.
But it should not do anymore.
Yes, now, but it's very unusual.
Is it unusual now?
It's so unusual. Yeah.
Okay, I'm replacing it. Replacing it. Is it working now? Can you check?
Yeah, perfect.
It's perfect now.
Yes. What
So-
was the problem?
A problem. I just there's output method right here. We need to use stringify JSON.
okay.
This out sending the results. So it is also an evidence that it's working. My machine is a server. You guys can get benefit, like not building your API. So it's also like this is the purpose, npm package and the node and the server concept, right? Okay. Yes. See now I can change the information and you can get benefit out of it. I can change the student's object, like here, modify information. Let's make and one more record. Okay, now it's me. Maybe I class 00 and belongs to, right? Let's say it's
Close to.
yeah. Actually, I'm living growth. No, class XA. DSA.
Ah, class
Yeah. Yeah.
Is close to normal. From the other side, it's close to Farum
I think it's close to.
Gentofte.
Yeah, Gentofte, yes. Is it coming
I'm
now?
not this place. My customers are there. You know.
So, does it comes to your machine as well? This new student in the class? Yeah. Class 00?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. So that's the API part, right?
But why is you out?
Could you go back to the code? On the app. Up. Wait, that's it.
Alright.
That's it.
Yeah.
One second.
I'm gonna بشتغل.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So now let's. Sorry. Yeah. I think I don't.
One second, just
Are you good, guys? Should we move forward?
So the problem was why it downloaded before?
What?
Why was why it was downloaded?
I am just sending. See, you mentioned something body parser, right? Yana?
Oh yeah, body parser, yeah.
So I didn't use body parser. It's not just parsing to it. Okay? So now I'm using and instead of installing or configuring another thing, body parser. Okay?
So if it was this the problem, then we can just use the read file sync as before, because before we had 10 instead. If you use the and have it as the read file, we don't need to.
Yeah,
to do
and
the
means it
callback.
will end the process, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it makes sense now. So you guys not that big, right? So now two things remaining. One thing is remaining actually. Now we have the API. Now you all can go to your machine and then write and in your different folder, make a HTML file and then use my API and use some JavaScript method to call my API and then display the information. That's one thing. So you can do that right now, or we can improve our code a little bit better. Like we also learned something called export, module export, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to do that? Because export is optional. We will do the same thing. So basically our code start looking messy, right? We are writing search by function and then all this reading file, all this thing. Probably we can move to different file, like contact list. So we can move it to different file called user information or search by, like whatever you can do it. And then you export and then import, right? Do you remember this, export and import?
In HTML?
In previous classes, you
in
define
class.
some class and
Yes,
then you
yes.
import the
Module
class.
export.
Yes, you are.
Now we can also do the same.
Yeah.
Writing a class or writing a function or anything, we can do the export import, improving this code, moving this code into different files. This we can do, but this will take some time. Or we can just straightforward go to doing an HTML CSS and then show our get the information and then do this, app is running. And then if you have time in the end, probably we can improve the code. Which one you prefer? Just going to this.
Which one is much more professional?
I would say it's the professional thing. Is to give you the confidence. Let's do the HTML and CSS. You write this one and then see you can use my API and then display the information. You got the confidence. Then if you have time, we will do this refactoring. Okay. So now I would suggest you in your open a directory. There you create one index.html file or any app.js, script.js, whatever you call it, one JS file, and then in JS file write a method that it will read information. Like in the postman, you're calling my IP address, right, and then getting this information.
But we have done it before. We use URL and get the JSON
Exactly.
file, and
So you
then
can
we
copy paste.
made
You don't
a
have to write it.
function
Yeah.
to loop for all of the part and
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you already have this program in your machine or GitHub, so just download it and use that one, but replace with my IP address and just show the information of students.
Yes.
Is it clear, or I need to explain more?
I don't
No,
know
it's-
to explain now because I didn't understand.
Now we need to create an website. Okay.
Yeah.
So now basically information, everything you get, you can see students and Kuan, and this is from Postman, right? In JSON format. It's not very lucrative. Now we need to show this information in a website, right? So build a website, use my API. So you don't need anything Node right now. Just a simple HTML CSS application.
I don't get why it doesn't work.
It's because we are doing it that way. In Node, we can also write an HTML CSS using the public folder. There we store CSS and JavaScript and all this thing. I'm not doing this way because in React class you will learn the template engine, the React, right? There you will be doing it differently. So now I don't want to spend time on doing templating or running application on Node itself. So write a separate HTML and JavaScript file. There you'll be using this API, so you can have a sense. There are some servers out there. We are accessing the server, getting the information and displaying the information.
Can you just send me the
Let's spend 20 minutes on that.
You know, I didn't get anything. I probably wasn't, taking attention on what you were saying because it doesn't work. If it doesn't work in mine, so I cannot move forward.
What is not
I have
working?
to understand what my error. So for a reason, I didn't understand the assignment that you were saying.
Because I said don't focus on the error, because now you'll be using my server.
Yeah, but I understand. I understand.
If you want to focus on fixing your issue, then you can do it. But you can go ahead. We're recording this one, so you can see it later on. Or I can help you after doing this exercise. Let's do the exercise first in 20 minutes.
Could you just explain?
Amit, can you just explain? I think you got it right.
Can you remember a couple of weeks ago, we get the JSON file and we made it some order list or unordered list tags in the HTML, and we make some function in the JSON, and it's in the Java in the JavaScript, and it goes through all of the JSON files and make for everyone, for example, paragraph or a link or whatever.
Okay, I give it to you again.
We have done it before. You have done it. The first person
Okay.
have done it.
Let's create. Okay, let's do it from the beginning, guys. Let's create one folder. You name it whatever you call it. There you create two files: index.html and app.js or script.js or whatever you name it. Okay. So in HTML, you need to show like some lines like student information. Student number 1. Do some design, right? Probably the design could be like this way. We can, yeah. Is there any marker here? Okay, let's get some examples. Hack your HYF Copenhagen, right?
No, it's not the right one.
It's not the right one?
.dk. Instead of net, it's .dk. Just push on that. Push on that. Open it. And then do you kind of net.dk.
Okay. So let's say this is the mentor. See, guys. So you display this name. For instance, this is the mentor page, right? So instead of mentor, you can say the students of Hacky Future, some title, right? And there you just instead of picture, you don't have the picture here, right? Show the name and the class, name and class. So one,
Only HTML.
HTML.
Only HTML.
Yeah, but like show in a way that I can see it's like a different block.
Container,
Yeah, container. Yes, a div or line or whatever. You can say one student's one line, or 4 students at one line, something like that.
Or at least we can.
Yes, and to show the name, this name, you should be using my API that I just gave you in your Postman, right? You read them and then display the names and class information in your HTML page.
So okay, we fetch your API and
Yes, there's a method called fetch. You can use the fetch as well. It should be very simple, like it takes 5 minutes to build it, but
But now there is a
and copy paste from your code, previous code, it's okay. Doesn't matter.
I have to write it like this. It will give me JSON file.
I don't know
Just
how did you. It shouldn't.
Only this.
It should give you some response.
What you have done? Just let me. I will check.
Only the second one.
Yes.
I have to use fetch here. Yes.
If you have the code, you can reuse your code. That's fine. You used to use fetch. Yeah. Or fetch, or there are some XHR request object in a different way of doing it. Right?
I cannot remember all of them.
That's what I'm saying. Just you can use your see your previous
I will do it.
exercise. Homework.
I will do it.
You can get it. Is it still not clear? What's the homework? Sorry, the exercises.
There is a problem with this Postman. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is it? Can you show me the Postman thing?
Yeah. Just do it again.
بلد بودم اصلا یادم
I say use my IP address for now. Do you remember this IP address?
Yeah, okay.
Copy paste from Slack. I will fix your problem after this
JSON فایل
exercise.
درست کردیم که میشه مثلا
So you're not lagging behind. Use Slack and then get the number.
Okay, new folder, we call it
And this will also cover your document. Just try. I will do the exercise as well.
So 2 files you have to create, yeah?
If you need more, you're welcome. You can create CSS file, JavaScript file, many others if you need to design. I think it's best if you can do design as well. Yeah.
Have you sent the
Yeah.
It's on Slack, I told you several times.
I don't have it on Slack.
Omid shared the link.
Okay.
آره من الان دارم دوباره فچ می‌کنم که چیزی فچ
Before you doing this, just console, see the console and then if it's showing the object, then you're a bit ahead.
آره فچ
I always try to show this trick to you guys. Always debug. Don't finish your code and then immediately just debug and see if it's working. Sorry.
Should we do the NPM the node one here or what?
No, that's not, it's not a node project.
Okay.
So, but you didn't listen. It's for you again. So we can also do this simple thing in our node project, but we're not doing it there because in the React class you learn in different way, running the full application.
Okay.
Fetch is not defined. Just copy paste this one and then replace the code website. You copy paste this one and then just replace the URL.
But it doesn't allow us to comment that. It doesn't allow us to comment that.
Okay, yes, that's the trick. Yeah, you also have this issue. So, guys, one small valuable information. If you try to call my IP address with fetch, the browser gives some error. It says origin cross origin problem. So basically, we are all in same local language network, right? We have IP address. There's some issue with this IP address that it's not outside, it's here in house, and you are trying to refer the same thing. So there's some error code cross origin, something like that. To avoid this problem temporarily, there's an extension in Chrome. So you just need to install it, then it will be working.
What?
Extension for Chrome. So just search in Google Chrome. Search in Google Chrome extension for this error message. Small one, cross origin, whatever you call it.
Extension. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Error message.
Can you see this? Show me the error. So yes, cross no access access origin, access control origin. Yeah, that one.
Access
origin.
origin. Allow control, allow
Yeah.
origin.
Allow origin.
Allows to you request any file.
You need an extension for it. Do you understand?
Oh, the extension.
I can show you what it is.
This is by clicking on our course. So I have to write the URL that I want to take the data from.
If you just install it, it will work. It will work. You don't have to do anything
So
else.
do it directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Is it working? What is the extension name?
No, the
What is the extension? This one.
other one, yeah.
Just go to extension, and then you should be able to find this extension. Allow control. Allow origin. Just install this one. I mean, add.
In Visual Studio?
In Chrome browser. So type here like this /Chrome/extension, and then search allow control allow origin. Yes. And search allow control allow origin. Then it will give you this extension, and then just add it. Yeah, that's it. Add extension. Then you will not get the error anymore. It's going well. Also do the extension.
Just use
Did you also install?
You don't need to streamify it.
Did you also install the extension?
Because when you call
Okay,
that
great,
data,
great.
you
Yes,
change it
yes.
automatically. And take care about this. Everything. No, yeah.
Hello?
The
Control? Hello? No. Origin. But it's not here.
You don't need to
I
just
search.
like URL if you do it like
I mean, it's here.
No,
Look
no,
at
no,
here.
it's like that. URL.
You search allow
Yes, I
control.
do exactly the same, but I couldn't find it.
Your friend has just downloaded it. Can you help me?
Chrome?
It's the extension. So,
Yes. Anyone managed to do it?
No, you have to execute the HTML. You have to make the script on the index HTML. Use the web page.
what's your HTML page?
Extension on
Using
current
the-
section relation.
Oh,
Manage
So you create an HTML.
Okay.
See,
It's not. I said it's not an extension. It's just the normal application. Just run the index file. That's it.
Yine hem extension yine. I don't have any more extension.
Brother, you did it?
Chrome.google.com.
Can you show the information on the HTML file, right?
No, I will do it.
Yeah. Did you manage to do it? It's Iana, right?
You wanna.
Iana.
Okay. Extension. Okay. Hello. الان کار کردیم.
So you guys all forgot all things that you learned in JavaScript
Yes,
module?
yes, exactly. Yes.
So I'm
You
bit
know,
doubt.
if you don't use it,
I'm
you
bit doubt
will lose it.
about Node.js then, right?
Yes.
So you'll be.
If you don't use it, you lose it. Now I cannot remember the fetch how was working.
That is a nice exercise, guys, to remind you. So it also shows that you didn't do the homework. Then you should have able to copy paste your code.
No, this is
Huh?
the JavaScript one.
Yeah, yeah. There you should be able to find, right?
Yeah, but for me, I want to do it from scratch, not have to find it if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. And you also didn't store your code in GitHub. So then
No, I have my code.
you have the code again. Just copy paste it there.
Okay.
So give you 5 more minutes, otherwise I will stop doing it. You will lose the opportunity to do it by yourself.
اینجوری درسته؟
25.
URL رو باید اینجا بنویسم درسته؟ این هم میشه fetch URL این میشه responseش توی JSON
چیکار کردی URL رو
So data is all of it. So data is all of it. Data is an array.
من URL همینجا مستقل نوشتم
میتونیم اینجا مستقل نوشتیم
Okay. So data.
کپیتال ننوشتم
آره میشه این URL داستانش فرق
Stringify.
نمیدونم خدا فکر شده
Just copy paste, don't try to type yourself. If you see somewhere you can copy, just copy.
No, I cannot even. ها؟ آره قبلا نمیشه من یادمه
It is important that you know how it's working, that's it.
I know, I can imagine how
Here we
it
go.
works, but
Got
the problem is.
Right, what? I didn't say this way.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to.
Yeah, now you're feeling
Now
yes.
the div, I have to do for each one a div.
Yes. Do some,
Okay, so can we create a list instead?
whatever you do is give some color, right? HTML CSS file should be, you know, Good,
we
look,
do.
should
So
look good.
we create it through JavaScript. So we do create list and then open child. Okay. Go.
Hamid,
Hmm?
you're disappointing me. What are you doing?
Yeah, you know, now I cannot remember the details. I know how we were making it because I took a look. This is the last time.
Dot length.
Oh, it's not this one. This is the way. No,
8.
no, not
Okay,
this
we have
one.
8.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes, this is how I made the last one.
Yeah.
The last time.
Gotcha.
This is the fetch that I get from the Hack Your Future API, and then I came here and I make a
Yeah, this is the one.
Yes, it was like this. Exactly.
Yeah, like that. Just do that. This is the one.
Okay, just I should copy and paste.
Just copy from a function,
But we
fetch,
have to create
and then just replace this one.
anyway.
Yeah, copy, and then move your code, and then just replace this.
Is UL.
But it's
Everything, just replace, yeah. And then replace this URL.
Bracket.
This stuff.
round bracket.
and then you need to define the URL variable, right? It's let const whatever you do
Okay.
it, and then it's equal to
No. Bracket.
URL
And,
equal to yes,
the list.
yes,
You have to create the
and then you need the HTML file just to look at this information.
HTML file.
Oh, what?
It's an HTML, right? This is document create element
Okay.
URL, and then
You
you
need
are
document create
attaching with
element.
the append child, right?
Yes, yes.
So you need the HTML file with the same class ID. Anyone?
No, we're doing it. Data for each. For each, we want to do that. We have, or for each we have an object. So yeah. So object. So for each object, so we have to create a URL before const one document create element word. Then for each we do data for each object. So we have objects for each object. Okay, so list. Okay. Const list document element list. Document query student list child. List
Is anyone close? Ready?
1 second.
Second. That's nice.
For each object, we do
Fail to load.
LE inner text, yeah, LE inner text object.
Still problem.
Inner text. Inner text is the minuscule.
When I fetch,
Mhm.
then this result is
Mhm.
Cool.
and then I get data.
Mhm.
The data result is 2 students. Okay. And now return this function, this map.
Wait a minute.
It's
We got them,
It's not
but
bad.
we have to stringify them.
No. You don't need to return anything.
So,
You don't need to return anything. Just do this HTML part.
so I don't need this function, just a function.
You can do for each students.
Here I
The map is like, you
I
do
can get
some filtering
but-
and then it will return you another array of objects.
I can find like here
For
we have,
each.
for example, the students.
Okay. It's not results, right? Data is equal to data. It's not results. Let students equal to data, not results.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem. Yeah. Try that and then comment the line and then see if it's working. Okay, guys. So let me do it.
Yes.
Yeah, you're happy?
No.
Relieved?
Why are you so?
You managed to-
Just 1 second. We
I
gotta.
just
we
get
gotta-
the name. I wanted the name.
Yeah, that's it. And then add some HTML to it. And nice design.
You stringify them, no?
No.
Don't make me more confused, please. Now.
There you go.
Share the screen.
But I see only objective list on the HTML.
That's it.
Yeah, but what you want to see is only the name, only the.
I told you. I will test everything that you have done so far.
Yeah, name, only the name.
Name.
Okay, that's
All
it.
the names.
Object dot.
But it's-
Here we go.
But why is the design? There's no color, nothing there, right?
Oh, but,
No CSS.
Okay, we will do it. I'll do it. Easy.
Okay,
I'll do it.
guys. Now let's focus here. I will do it. Okay?
I'll do it. If you give me 5 minutes, I will.
No, I gave you already 1 hour. It didn't happen. So let's do it myself. It's also I'm doing it because Moni also requested. He want to learn document.get element, something like that, right? So there's some issues there. So we can also cover the knowledge gap there. So now what do I need? I need a different folder, right? All I need. And then I should not end this application because it will be gone then. How can I create one more? Tab, window tab. Okay. Let's now call mkdir, right? What? It's a folder name, right? Website. Book, I can feature book. Web. It was, other one was API, now this is web, right? Okay, so now I told you that I need some design, right? So I don't have that much time for doing the design. Let's do something bootstrap, right?
Bootstrap. But there is another one. It's really cool.
Is it the one you try sometimes?
No, it's mustard CSS, something like that.
Whatever.
Masterized.
Whatever you find, then it's fine, no problem. So here, is it a way to download it? How to download this thing?
What are you going to do now?
I need an HTML.
Right.
Yeah, can you give me the card number? Oh man, it has so much information. Or bootstrap. I think let's take this one maybe instead of that one. Cursor. Okay.
Abed, for example, when sometimes I want to get the API from some website,
Yeah.
they ask me, for example, the user should give me the access
Yeah.
that I use their API.
Yeah.
I have the problem with these kind of things.
Yeah, that's true. It's something that we need to some authentication related thing we need to fix, right?
For example, the sign up or login. Why we are not learning this stuff?
I think it's a bit broad, thing. That's why. Oh man, I should have get ready before doing this thing. No, I'm getting issues.
Student.org.
Okay.
Student.org. Student. تو میتونی یه دونه UL درست بکنی.
درست.
یه آیدی بهش بدی. اینجا لیست بکنی append child of this UL. اول الهی تو بساز. اول الهی تو بساز. اول میز کانست مثلا الهی میکر. الهی میکر. نه بعد چیز نمیخواد الان چجوری میخواد برای هر کدوم شه get by ID and ID بهش بده جای نکن اگر خود رو سالی یه بار رفتم توی فوری گفتم یه دونه آدم میکر درست کردم هی برو اینو بشه راه میتونی ایش هم نداره که یکی
Okay, let's build this one. It's not also doesn't look that much better, so we can use some color maybe.
It would better to make every one going to a container so we can
Yeah. Background green maybe. It doesn't look good, right? Do you know? Forget about this one. Okay. all we need, now this is an HTML, just an HTML, right? And I copy all this file from just jQuery and Bootstrap needed, right? We can also, improve this one later on. So now what I need, I just need, I have some information, is all repeated, and just need to get from API and replace them, right? So all I need an HTML, what do you say, a JavaScript file, right? What should I call it? You can call it script.js or app.js or main.js. JS, yeah. And then just we need to link this JS file. So let's link it. Script. So C equal to main.js. Okay. So now we are in main.js. Now what do we need to do? We need to use fetch, right? So let's do some, I can write the code just right now, but let's copy paste from, internet. So it's easier. You also know how to copy paste. Some fetch, you can say fetch example. Using fetch like this, right? Copy, paste, and then all I need just to change the IP address, and then IP address is this one. IP address is this one with H, right? And then if I get it, the response, then return the response, right? So here probably I don't return to anyone. I just do console.log response just to see it, right? What is it? Yeah,
I think you should.
So now if I run my file here, right? If I see this output, it's saying response failed.
I think you shouldn't write response in the first line. Can you go to the okay? In the first, then you have to get the JSON file. So you should write response.json.
Okay. JSON, right?
Yes. Yes. JSON.
This one?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
No.
You have to
You can
return
hear-
as a function. You have to return the JSON file of the response.
When you have this response, you have.
Oh, sorry. I was. No. It should be in then model. Then, not here. I need to return this. Let me do Control Z, and then it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here should
Actually
return the JSON file.
Oh, it's
okay?
also console. Okay.
Then
It's-
here you can.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see the line below. I didn't read it. So it's showing the right information. And the error actually because I didn't clean my HTML because I downloaded from internet, right? It will go away if you do remove them. So this is the here, and then I need to just update this information. Let's go to my HTML page, and then I remove because I will don't need all of them.
Yeah. You just need the TIV and give it the ID.
Yeah. So I need this column for maybe this one, and then here I need an ID, or maybe we can do with class as well. So I need students. Yeah.
Yes, you are right. We need class here.
We can also do in both ways, class and
If
ID.
you want to put the list inside of it, you need ID. But if you want to make different kind of div, you need.
I think
class.
it's both way. You can read elements by ID and class.
Okay.
That's not an issue. So let's do it here, right? So here in this place, I need to get let's say const or let you can call it HTML, right? And then I'm trying to read that HTML, right? Get element by, or it's not that way. Document.
You don't need to write the let
Document dot
HTML.
get. Sorry,
You don't need to do it.
I need to do it this way. Okay. So now I got it, right?
Yeah.
So now I can also console that one, just see if it's there, or you can do it this way. So it's showing something, right? Object.
Div element.
Yes. Now I need to do one more thing. Let new HTML, maybe you can give a new name. HTML equal to, this.
Why don't you do new div or new the tag element itself?
Sorry.
Why don't you write the tag element itself? Like let HTML, it doesn't refer to the get element by ID. The element that you're taking from the HTML is a div tag. Why don't you do let div or let first div?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, definitely. Also with div, but then there are a lot of div. How do you uniquely
First div.
select that div? Fast, you need to do fast or last, middle, run through this. But this is much easier, right? So here I can say, okay, this will be the list of students, right? So here, this is the one, and then how can I include my this HTML with the HTML that here?
The new HTML should be the append child. of
Yeah,
the
HTML dot what?
append child.
Append child,
Parentheses.
or you can say append element, right? Append after, before, what is it called?
Append, that's it.
Append.
And do the round
Insert before.
because if you do append child,
Let's-
it has to be a child
Let's Google it.
of that element that you want to append to.
I don't want to use child. I just want to use the entire HTML. Insert before, is it? No, append. Not append child. Containing HTML. And why it's showing this way? Let me see it here.
Or
You
you
can
can
use
use
append
inner
because
HTML.
you have
can use,
downloaded.
you can use inner HTML as well. You can use HTML.
Yeah, that
inner
one.
HTML equal to the
I
new
was
HTML.
looking for inner HTML.
Yeah.
Inner HTML, and then you can do this one in new HTML, and then before.
It works like that.
No, it doesn't work like this.
What?
You have to use HTML dot inner HTML equal to new HTML.
Then you are replacing everything, right?
No, inner HTML is editing the inner of that, the inside of that element.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
well, you are not doing it because you do inner HTML equal HTML. HTML is just getting an ID.
Okay.
It's not modifying anything.
So it is now replaced, okay? Just inner HTML equal to this one, right? So now this new HTML need to be, the new way. For instance, this is the one that we want to copy, right? Copy this HTML, and then in script here, and then in this place you do this, right? Replace it here. Now we do it twice. It's coming twice, right? This way. So now this is the one that we just need to make a loop. How to make a loop?
For each.
Here, right? This way. It's a template literal. We are writing
JSON, my JSON. I use the for loop.
for each, right? My JSON, right?
My JSON dot for each.
For each.
Parenthesis, okay. Element.
What? It just give me the, you know,
That array.
yeah, element, yes.
Okay.
An object inside of the element.
Right here, right?
No. No, it's
But you should write the element.
Isn't it?
What? My JSON for each element.
But now for each return you you do element.
I just want to do it like undefined.
There is no need to do that.
Sorry, Abel, I think you make it a little bit complicated. You know, if you go to the HTML, and explain again about where do you want to write your code.
One second. Here, right? So this is my HTML, right? And then I'm doing a for each there with my JSON, and then element should show this, right? Why it's not showing it?
But element is object. What should we
Hmm.
put something inside the element name or element?
I think this is the one. Maybe we need to stringify first. Const students equal to this one, and then yeah, student for each is not a function. Oh man, what is it? Number 13. It's showing this an error, right? And that was not working. This code was not working because there's something here. You said, what is it?
If you do instead, yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
Okay, it doesn't work.
If it was working.
Oh yeah, because the student you stringify, so it's a string. It's no more an object, a JavaScript object. So you cannot use for each in the new student variable that you have written that, because the JSON stringify my JSON is a string. It's no more an object.
But
Okay.
here it's working. Did you see? He write a student dot and for each came out.
Let's do it without template, right? You see it here there. If it's working here. console.log element, right?
It's
For each is not a function. So if it's you said I stringify it, right? That's the problem.
No, delete the string file.
Yeah, try to do something. Leave JSON, take off stringify and do parse. Not parse,
I
yeah.
think you're right.
If it's work, then I'll...
Distance parse is positioning.
I know you cannot do that anyway. Yeah, just leave it my JSON. Yeah, just leave it like that. You see?
Yeah, it's coming here, right?
So it was
Okay, so why what is not coming in here? This HTML.
I think it's because you're converting, with the how do you call it, the dollar one. You're doing it on both of them. You already did it once. You don't have to do it twice.
Okay.
You do it twice inside.
So if I want to do it that way, dollar this one, and this is the code, right?
Yeah.
Copy
Cut it.
there, right?
That's it.
Then move it there.
Yeah.
It's undefined.
Yeah.
Okay. That's, you should be able to do it this way as well, with a double, string. Students for each element. So it does not work.
Yeah. Now for each element, I think you should show them somehow on the how to say.
Excuse me, can you write console.log element in the console?
Okay, let me see if I add this.
Yeah, now each element you should do the inner the append child on the div, because the div have the CSS. So inside the how to say, in the main JS, you do append child to the div. So the div was the student list, I think, or whatever you call it. I don't remember. HTML you call it, yeah.
Why should it?
Yeah. Now for each, you do append child. You do HTML append child. Append child element. Append child element. Yeah. And I think it would work.
I think this is not the issue actually. Concept. I'm just saying, let's say here, alert, right? Alert, I want to see this HTML, that's it. And it will give me undefined, right? Undefined. And then I want to iterate a loop.
Okay.
You have to append them to the div. Every element you have to append them to the div.
Okay, let's do it in a different way actually then. Okay, fine. So here I have this constant maybe defining in this place empty. Then in new element I would say new element plus equal, let's say 1, right? Each time.
They have to be closed, no space. No space.
Where?
No space.
Okay, yeah.
And semicolon.
Where is it? Yeah. For each new element.
And
Then,
in the const, you have to do let on the new HTML.
here.
Up is the let.
Here.
Let the new HTML equal empty string. Then you change it HTML plus 1. And to a constant variable.
Constant. Okay.
Let, yeah.
You're right.
And you already declared HTML down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming now, right?
Now we have
So now here actually we need this div, and then we replace this div with this template literal, right? and then we replace it here. Let's see how many times it's coming, and then we don't need this alert anymore. It's coming many times, right? So now we just need to replace the name here, right? Omit by
Dollar,
Name.
my JSON,
dollar element
Element dot name.
element dot name. So
Here you go.
and then class is static. Let's change the class.
element that
Wow,
No.
it's coming, right? It's not very nice.
That's good.
We still have 20 minutes. Probably we can do one more thing if you want. That's clicking on one.
image.
No, clicking on one, and then it should show the details page.
Yeah, that would be
So
good.
then we can detail like more information, right? So we'll be calling a different fetch with a different
Other
API.
system.
yeah. But if you guys are confident,
Okay, teach us. For example, we have a place here in our website, and people they add themselves to your website. Actually, they are they are posting the new object in your API. Can they
That you can do it with Express. You just add another round or a button. Then when you push that, it go to on the post up that post.
should we do that post? Probably. We can-
Yes.
If you want, we can do this post as well, like adding one more student and see from the post method.
But the problem is that it will work if you
It will work,
do
definitely.
in live. Then it will not fail.
But I like to learn
Yeah.
it by the website. In the website. Inside of the website, we are here.
Yeah.
Make an input.
Yes.
And we write our name
Yeah.
and write our class and
Yes.
push the button and straight here.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Should we try that?
I don't know if
yeah.
other people they are angry.
We can also
But
try
it's
it.
much
Because
easier.
it's
It's much
long.
easier if you do when you add a new object.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
will be really easier.
Yeah.
You get the new object.
That's what
and
he's
you
saying.
have to-
That's what he's saying. So we need to create one API with a post
Yeah.
method, and then in this HTML, probably you can have a form to submit. You put the information and then submit this to this one. It's not
You
possible.
are right.
But
In
it'll-
theory, it's very easy, but when you are going to write the code, it's a little bit different.
Probably what make it difficult is to access because we don't have any tool that we can do it directly from the browser. That we have to use Postman. But I know for a fact that there is a way that we can do it because there is this
But you
method
don't need
called
the
request
Postman.
body.
You don't
Request
need the
body.
Postman. Actually, you have it in your JavaScript, in your app.js.
Yeah, I understand, but it's more.
You don't need to put
Yeah, I
it
know,
in
but
the
it's just
Postman.
to do some exercise on it. But it's okay. We
Okay.
can do it in an old way.
Yeah. So guys, what I did try to show it here, basically how Node work as a backend service. So it is my server, and then you have the HTML, and then you can also use my service, and then build your own application, front-end application, right, without doing the touching the backend, right? Just to demonstrate this thing to you.
Could you show the code?
So now, does it make sense? Any sense to you guys? So Monia, is it okay? The document element.
No.
Oh yeah. But I don't know if they was part of their homework,
Yeah.
When Marco gave out the assignment about sorting, he didn't give out the fine assignment. So we said, okay, when you do the search by name, you do the sort. You can do the sort, okay? Sort the search by name. He said just make sort. When I sort, it sorts me the list. So what let us understand is that I can put sort whatever I want. If I put it without any query, it sort on my list, my entire list. If I do the search by and then I sort, it will sort me all my search by. If I do search by and limit, and I thought it will search me.
Yeah,
This one it takes 8 combination because there are three queries.
yeah.
Name, search by name with limit and sort.
Hmm.
I don't know if there is a way to make it shorter. Instead of do if, else if, else if, else if, else if for 8 times. It takes just a little bit of code.
Yeah, you can do it.
It works.
Yeah, you can do it short as well. Yeah.
But it just
Yeah, you can.
How?
How? Do you have the code so then I can refactor and see?
Yeah, I send it on my homework.
Okay, so then we take the homework then. So is there any question, final comment, remark you still missing? Actually, this is wrapping up the whole class. Is there there's something I can try to answer your question? Any confusion? Anyone? Does it give you any idea how this node work and this API means, REST API, all this? Okay. Okay, so then let's take the homework. Where, Badar, your code?
And please share the code that you wrote today.
Okay, if you can
Not
use
this
them.
one, the app.
Okay, I'll do that. So which one you're talking about? H8 if-else condition?
Yeah, here I wrote it down. It's sort by date to finish. The sort should be done between all the combinations. There are 8 combinations. That we are using by name, limit.
Where is it? Can you point me the line number?
There, down. You see?
This one?
Down.
Here?
Yeah, from there.
How many if-else?
I'm sorting. I'm sorting only the list, but I'm not doing the other case. The other case is like if I write if I write search by name, if I do limit.
So basically, in this context, you have this query, right?
I have 3 kind of queries.
Yes.
Search by, so name. In this case, I search by name because I choose to search by name, and then we limited. We can get a list contact with the limited search name. If I have 15 contacts start with B, I just want 3 of them, the first 3, okay? But I also want to sort them, have the capability to sort them, from the recent one. You know what I'm saying?
Probably, but I'm not totally following what.
Yeah, just read. I wrote the comment there. To sort
What
should
is
be done
MR?
between all the combination. Here we have 8 combinations to try in order to satisfy all 3 parameters. All 3 the query. So it's by name, limit, and sort are the 3 queries that we can write on the URL. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Is it running in your machine? This
Yeah.
program?
Yeah. I want
Show from there.
We want me to go to Chrome.
I think there's no
Yeah,
Chrome.
I
You
can
can
do
use
it.
your this one.
I think I can.
Let me stop the recording. I can give you the capable so you can share.